This Croton-on-Hudson house was purchased in 1961 as a country home and retreat by the author and playwright Lorraine Hansberry and her husband, songwriter and producer Robert Nimeroff. The house was sold to Hansberry and Nimeroff by the architect Herbert Duran, and this house has remained in this family since that time. Losing a battle to cancer, Hansberry died in 1965 and left the home to Nimeroff. Until his death in 1991, Robert Nimeroff performed as the literary executor and producer of Hansberry's published and unpublished works. Much of her work and his was conceived of and developed and completed in this Croton home. Robert Nimeroff was my stepfather. In the late 60s, my mother, Joi Gresham Nimeroff, and I came to live in the house. I grew up in this house and consider it to be my childhood home. I have always felt that this is a perfect home for writers and artists. This home was always filled with books, art, music, lots of people, and laughter. You can still feel it. I lost my mother to cancer in 2005. She was a resident of Croton for 38 years. This is a builder's home, built for and by the architect. And typically, in this case, the builder utilized the best materials, such as the now rare cypress paneling, red oak floors, and beautiful cabinets and doors throughout the house. The house is situated on over 2.5 acres and is perfectly positioned on a hill, built into a ledge that opens into 3 levels of nicely landscaped lawn with beautiful views. Entering the house through the front door, you are immediately welcomed by the light, the sense of space, and large windows in every room that give you the feeling of continuity between the indoors and outdoors. I think that the architect was very successful in integrating the indoor with the outdoor living space. You can always feel nature wherever you go in the house. Two additions have been made to the house, first in the 1980s and then in the 90s. The house now has 4+ bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. An important addition to this house is a writer's studio and loft on the lower level. There is also an adjoining light-filled room that would be a perfect library, gallery, or family room that opens into a lawn area of its own. Every room of the house looks out into the yard. I think that the design intent is to bring the outside in, and that was well realized. The house has a great flow, a sense of airiness and space. The house sits on a private road shared with 6 other houses. The environment is extremely quiet. It's hard to believe that you are only a 45-minute drive from New York City. The feeling here is very serene. The house is surrounded by trees, nestled in its acreage so that you are unaware of neighboring houses. This is a perfect house for a large or expanding family, for a professional who practices at home, for people who love to gather around a big kitchen, for those who want the space to entertain, and for those who love nature. I am proud to offer a home that has been owned by one family for 45 years. It has been well maintained and updated, and yet it stands as a mid-20th century modern classic with attractive design and beautiful grounds. My name is Joi Gresham, and this is the Hansberry Nimeroff House, offered by Houlihan Lawrence, Croton-on-Hudson, New York.